Hey, Steph, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, Pete?
All right. Let me make sure we're live here. Let me go check the channel just to make sure because I don't be getting shit right. All right. Yeah, we on. All right.
All right.
So, how you been? How's everything going?
It's been all right.
All right.
Hanging in there, you know, trying to make it out here.
I hear that. Everybody, I want to let you know, I knew Stephanie for approximately about 15 years. I knew her baby dad. I know her baby's dad and her baby's dad's brother. I did time with his brother, and her baby dad name is Ray. He goes in and out of the system and stuff like that too, and had drug problems and stuff like that. So does Stephanie. She's recovering addict. So we're all from the same area, Newcastle. I was born in Wilmington. She was born in most likely Wilmington too, and we all grew up in Newcastle, Delaware. This is a small state, but let me tell you, the state gets down per capita. Wilmington has most murders, most drugs. We only had 3 prisons, but it's bad here. You know what I mean? And she just wants to come on here to share her story about how she feels of her baby dad being locked down and playing her all the time and everything. She might not have some nice things to say, but this channel holds nothing back. We let loose on everything, and he's even invited one day to come on and tell his side. So, Stephanie, take it from here. Let it rip about your experiences in Newcastle and with your baby dads and everything you know about the jail system, visitations, how COs treat you, and how even getting pulled over regular police, how they be treating people in the state of Delaware, and or whatever you want to share. Go ahead. Mike's yours.
Well, first, I just want to say big shout out to Pete for doing this. Because if it wasn't for Pete speaking out for others that can't right now, um, I give big props to you for doing this, Pete, because it is hard to reach it. When you're in the inside now, it's hard. You really don't have nobody. And I had to play both sides. I had to play the loving and caring baby mom, but then I had to cut that and I had to cut that person off. So
Absolutely.
I think both sides of the on the fence, I should say.
Right.
Um, I've supported. I've been very supportive. And then I had to get to the point where it wasn't. I couldn't be supportive anymore.
Right.
I had to learn to love myself all over again. A lot of things is about people don't understand is these guys get way too comfortable with being with what 3 meals in a cot if you're
Hot.
I
3 house
mean,
in a cot.
right. So and they're getting institutionalized. I
Right.
believe they're not sitting there getting the programs they need, and all they know is when they get out is to go back to what the streets is what they know. I mean, you brought
Exactly.
up my baby dad Ray, great man, great father. I
Cool
mean,
dude, man.
cool
Yeah.
dude, cool dude. But the system institutionalized him so much, I don't even know who he is anymore. Like
like
I don't
like I
even
said in an interview, it takes if you when you're born as a kid, as a teenager and stuff, you have a kind heart. After going in and out of jail, it makes your heart cold. It turns it black and it changes you forever.
I mean, I'm telling you, and it does. It really, really does. Because I'm telling you, this man had a very good heart. He had a very kind heart, and now all he knows is the system and
Mm,
how to beat the system, or how
yeah.
to go rob and steal, or do this or do that. He doesn't know how to work a regular 9 to 5. If
Right.
maybe we had more programs in jail to do that instead of punishing them and throwing them in a hole,
Right.
maybe that would change their way of thinking. I
Right.
mean, even as I even have a juvenile, child that's been in the system, it works with them.
Wow.
Why wouldn't it work with an adult male or an adult female? Because I'm speaking for females also. I've
How
had
old?
sisters, I've had cousins, I have everybody that's been in the jail system. My whole family's been in the jail system.
Yep.
My uncles were the ones that broke out. The 7 that broke out at Gander Hill when it was called Gander Hill. I mean,
And
it's
we're
my
talking in the 80s, right? Late 80s, early 90s.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was a while ago. It was big news in Delaware.
born.
Delaware is the second. For people don't know, Delaware is the second smallest state in the Union in the United States, and first Rhode Island is the smallest. But we are tri-state. We got Jersey right over the bridge. We got PA right down the corner, and we got Maryland right down the corner. So we got 3 states right there. We live 25 minutes from Philly. We live 2 hours from New York. So this place is flooded with drugs and everything and crime.
Exactly. That's where the drugs come in play.
Yeah.
That's where the drugs come in play. The drugs come in play right there because look where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to drive a half an hour up the 95 and be in Philly.
Right.
Come down here and double our money.
Exactly.
We're throwing it up there. I mean,
exactly.
This is how people are thinking these days. Wilmington, there's nothing for us to do.
No.
There's nothing. I want to move because there's nothing for my kids to do. Let alone they grew up without a father because the father was in jail. You know, but now it's like, what do they do? You know, what there's nothing for them to do outside. There's nothing for them to do around in Delaware. I just think that maybe if they gave people, or just like they open up that convention center and they're starting to bring concerts here, like other stuff.
They opened, remember they tried that roller coaster, that one area so kids could, you know, write down on Old 13. They had a roller coaster, they had a little like trying to make a little great adventure type thing. That didn't work out. They got a dirt bike thing. I don't even think that exists anymore.
They cut all that down.
And that's for our kids now, or was for 10, 15 years ago. And like you said, you got a child that already went through the system already. So when we grew up, there was absolutely nothing to do. And then they attempted to do something for the youth, and they even failed at that. There is absolutely nothing to do in Delaware. That's why we go to Philly. That's why we go to New York Times Square and buy the best clothes and just have good times at bars, clubs, strip clubs, us men, you know what I mean, women too. And there's nothing to do here, so people are I think it is in Delaware. People are boredom, and so they find drugs, and everybody, you know, shit. I would say at least 75% of the state is strung out, man. You got grandmas, you got grandfathers, aunts, uncles, like you said. You got so many people that went in and out, and they're still locked up in the system. That been like the worst prison we have is Smyrna. That's violent wise. That's ran by prisoners.
Because I heard that whole thing. Thanks to yes, you can go on the internet, and there is
online
a scanner. There's a police scanner. No, even where you listen to, because criminals know this, and I'm sorry to say, but they would hear. I mean, you know, they could listen to when the cops were coming because we're listening to you.
Right.
You can go in there, look up police scanner. You can, and I heard the whole takeover of Smyrna. He went by Sam, and all they were requesting was simple things like fresh water, more time for showers. They weren't requesting no 4-course meals or any, like they were requesting simple things.
Now, let me pause you for a second. Guys, what she's talking about is a nationwide story of this. This is not just Delaware. This is nationwide, that they took over this prison, Smyrna Prison. They change the names to the wardens' names every 10 years or so, but it's Smyrna Prison. There are only 3 prisons. We don't have county jails in Delaware. They call them they call them prisons. We only have 3 of them: Georgetown, Delaware; Smyrna, Delaware; and Wilmington, Delaware. Gander Hills in Wilmington, Delaware. Smyrna prison is obviously in Smyrna, Delaware. Georgetown, Delaware. And Smyrna is one of the worst there, and it's controlled by inmates. The other 2 jails are controlled by COs, real dickhead COs. But I don't know now, though. It might change. I think probably the COs control Smyrna now. You know what I mean? You probably know more than me. I've been 16 years out of the Delaware system. You know what I mean? Last system I was in was Maryland, so you know more about that than me. And but let's get to you know, how we just touched on that there ain't nothing to do when we grew up, and even for our kids. Like, what age was your son when he first got in trouble and went to jail? What did he go to, Ferris? Because I talked about my story. I did Ferris.
It was my daughter.
Oh.
Her father is also incarcerated.
Okay.
And I want to touch base on that. Maybe we won't have time today because of, you know, we're on tight schedules, but on mental illness. Because that was also a nationwide case that congressmen got involved. And
right.
he's facing a lot of time, probably the rest of his life.
Wow. So you're
And
telling me Ray was in there?
right now, I'm on.
You're
This
talking
is
about Mike?
you asked about Tone.
Okay. Okay. But you know a lot of people in there just like as I do too. I just don't know who's currently in there.
Tone is my daughter's father. I have two baby dads, Ray,
Right. Okay.
and then Tone was locked up the whole pretty much Ariana's all life, so all you knew was Ray to be around.
See, I didn't know you had two babies, dads, because I used to come around like every day or every other day when we were using. And, I'm going on 5 years clean November 22nd, 2021. And you're clean too. You know what I mean? How much sobriety you got?
Off of opiates, years. I got years off of
Okay.
opiates.
Congrats.
I am doing the CBD oils and stuff like that. And, my
Anything that helps.
but that's it. I don't
Congrats.
abuse shit.
Congratulations on that, man. Anything, even if it's a day without it, you're starting to win and be positive. But back to when I was coming over, I didn't know you had two babies dad. I thought Ray was your only baby's dad. You know what I mean?
He was around. He did step up. Like I said, he was a good guy. He did step up and he did all that,
Yeah. When I was around, he did. He was a good dad and all that stuff before he got institutionalized.
The same thing is that the men that are institutionalized, they feel that if we didn't have it, he went and got it any means necessary. And that's a shame. But you asked me a question about how young my son, and that's how I got on the topic about Tone.
Right.
And he's locked up in West Virginia, and he is like mental illness and things like that. He was incarcerated my daughter's whole life, basically.
Wow.
And he got out, and then he ended up doing something he would have never have done. Never have done. Right. And now he's facing the rest of his life in jail. So now my daughter, I believe that today's kids don't listen to what we say. They watch what we do. So I had a child that was starting to fall into the path.
Right.
Felonies, assistant arrest. I'm talking about like fighting the police officers, all types of things. Thank God she's seen the light and she turned around and she's doing great now. But I was in the courts bailing her out, doing things like that. And she was going right down the road because what is there a life to live for? She nobody loved her. Nobody was there. And the only thing there was to do was to go out and get in trouble.
Same thing with my childhood, man. My dad used to beat the shit out of me. He did some stuff with me, but mostly it was negative more than good memories. And that's what you do. You get depressed of what happens at the home, and then it turns into anger. The depression turns into anger, and you go out and do
what, Pete, I will say, her and her dad right now have the tightest relationship ever. And that's a shame that it's because now and he's in jail. And I wish he could have that outside. But now it's like she puts money on the phone. He does video calls with her, and they are tighter than ever. And you know what? It's a shame that but it is what it is. The only thing is that all I can do is put a smile on my face and just support them as much as I can. I will never keep my children away from their fathers, no matter how or what or where or anything. And I never have.
Exactly.
Unless their safety has to be, but other than that, and
it's very sad that he's finally getting to know her. I know who kind of person she is through glass and through the phone, and he never knew her on the street like that,
when he was out, he was there every day with her. He was great. He was great. And like I said, that's why I want to talk about the mental illness, because being in jail institutionalizes, it messes with your head. Yeah. Because it's crazy. Yeah. There's people, like I said, like we were talking about Ray. He used to be the nicest, coolest guy. Look what happened.
Good hustler, went and got it. Whatever he needed, went and got it, and high energy.
Talk you out of your shoes. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
he could, man. He talked me out of a few things, man. When I was back in my house one day, and I was like, "Damn, man, all right."
right.
But he always paid me back, though. He always paid me
I mean,
back, man.
right. And he's a good dude, but it's just that,
He is.
and he's my best no matter what. And people might hate me for this and all that, but that's still my best friend. No matter
Right.
what we've been through, that's still my best friend. And the thing is that I had to come to a point in life where I had to step back and I had
Right.
to draw the children back because the children, I let them make the decision. I never talk
Right.
bad about them. And I don't believe in females that put the fathers down. Leave it to the children when they get older to make that decision. Because you're spiteful about the father, don't be spiteful in front of the children. You
No.
know, it's
No.
not, it's not their fault. Just like it wasn't their fault that you guys had sex and didn't wear a condom and you brought them into this world. It's
Being
not their fault.
100. Yeah, you're right. And
So
what's
get on
sad
the father,
is,
let them make that decision.
and what's sad is these kids get blamed too, man. Like certain family members won't talk to me. Like we used to have Thanksgiving dinners, big Thanksgiving dinners with all my second cousins, first cousins, Christmases. I'm not invited, none of that. Me and my sister, we're looked at the black sheep in the family because we
Thank
did drugs,
you.
but we're clean, and we did got in trouble with the law. Not my sister with the law, but me, and so we're not invited in none of this stuff, and it affects that in the long run. So half your kids probably won't even have the opportunity to even meet the farther family, but they're hypocrites and they'll like the other family that has a house and car and has their shit together. But the glass is going on. She's roasted now. I mean, that's how it is, man. Family plays favorites and they judge you.
I'm telling you, just
They could be worse than friends.
And you know what? It's messed up. It's the children that hurts the worst, especially the ones that do straight A's, that will try to do good with their life, that are sitting there doing everything in their power to show that they are not like who you think they are because their name. What I'm not going to get into is, but they're ignored. They don't even know their they don't even know until they go to a birthday party. They meet their family. And they have to see their dad at the birthday party.
Crazy.
That side of the family wants nothing to do or doesn't call on the holidays. Nothing.
Crazy, yo.
Nothing. Crazy. Because their parents were in jail.
Yeah. Like my son, he's positive. He plays the guitar and all that. And now he can't go over there because of me. And now they won't be able to know him because of me. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I
don't understand why children have to. It's not. I don't know if it's because of circumstances, and they think, oh well, the mom has it. He's okay. They're okay. She's okay. The mom has it, or the stepmom, or it doesn't matter. It still is. The fact is that the children are getting left out, and then when you try to step in and try to help, you look like the bad person.
Yeah, you do.
So
that's fact.
Can't win either way. We look bad regardless what we do.
Right. And they think the kids are stupid, man. Kids are very smart, man. Like at the age 5, they know this. They know they're not. They know certain families cut them out of the circle. They know their other cousins can go to these events with the families and be invited and all that. The holidays are very important for kids, man. When I was growing up, thank God I had them. But now I missed 17 Thanksgivings and Christmases with my family because I had an altercation with my uncle who's not even blood of my first cousins, their dad. That's my mom's sister's husband, and he's not blood. But now I can't come over because it's always invited over his house. So he says what goes. And I tell my family, listen, if you love me so much, and my mom, she won't even go rebel because she's like, if Petey don't go, my son can't go, I'm not going to go. So she missed out too on these holidays. And
they're not even
so if they're not doing enough to even change the location, like having it at my grandma's, then that means to me they don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? And this was like 17 years ago that this situation happened with me. You know what I mean?
And look how you feel still 17 years after the fact. So imagine how a child that is 13 is going to feel.
Yeah.
He sees that his other side of the family doesn't call and invite him. They don't
Yeah.
call and check on him. They don't call and ask him to go to baseball games or do any of that.
Right.
They don't know shit about my son.
And
Now,
just like, and just, yep. And
all because of what his father's done. That
right.
doesn't make sense. That's not. He
Right.
gets straight A's in school. He went back to summer school to pass.
Wow.
He went back and did. He goes outside and sells waters and makes his own money. You want to know? You know what? Now the glasses are on. Now let me tell you. He sat there and got on motherfucking. I had to tell him to take it off. You know what his name was on Instagram? I mean, I'm sorry, on his little Fortnite whatever game. RJ's dad left.
Dang. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. And you know what? Same thing with my son. He's seeing that other family members like their other cousins and stuff, and the same kids, they're his age. In my family, they're hitting a love button, a reaction and care button and all that, but not for him, yo. They're like, I'll be like, Nate's playing, I'll call up my grandparents or whoever, not just my grandparents, they helped me through the years, but other family, and they'll be like, oh, that's cool, and that'll be in the conversation. But they're witnessing this through Instagram, Facebook, and seeing that other family members react to other people's posts, but not to theirs because of what their parents did, man. They're being punished and crucified for what their parents are or were. And like you said, you're clean. You're clean for some time now. I'm going on 5 years, and I'm 8 years out, almost 8 years out the system, off paper, no nothing but 2 traffic tickets since then. How the fuck long will this punishment go away?
I got and didn't even do the crime. That's another thing in Delaware.
And you know, how long would this punishment go away from these families? And after time, you know what? You say, fuck them. I don't need them. I got my own family, and you have to tell the kid, it's all right. We got us, and we'll start our own little thing, our own little traditions, the holidays, whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I tell my son, man. And it shouldn't have to be that way.
Same page. That's exactly what I do. We start our own traditions. We start our own things, you know, and everything. And it's a shame. It really is, and it's just. You can't get all this in one live. You know, we're gonna have to do another live one.
It's all good. We'll do a part 2.
Much to this topic. There's just really so much to a lot of this topic because not only the children, I mean, the families go through things, and you know, I mean, they call it tough love and things like that, and then it's just this whole situation is messed up. You know,
and it's all related. It's all related to jail, drugs, mental health. The jail turns your mental health from a normal person to. I've seen people go schizophrenic in cells that go in there for 6 months in solitary and come out talking to themselves and shit, or do the Thorazine shuffle, like you know what I mean, right. Walking around the jails like fucked up. They're fucked up forever, and there's no programs when they get out. There's no jobs. They used to give money, like even catch a bus. They don't give you shit. They don't set up nothing for you. It's housing like cattle. It's like fucking pigs and cattle on a farm. That's it. You're a number. They don't care about you. Bye. See ya. And that's it.
Yep.
You know, and
again, that's how they think about
future in it. And in our state,
imagine what they would say. I mean, it's ridiculous in there. Like it is crazy. It is. I understand if you do the crime, you do the time. You know, if you fuck up, own up to it. Okay,
own up to it.
Our system is so messed up. Why did my baby dad get 3 years for his first drug charge?
See?
But he got mad other charges, and everything. But 3 years for his first drug charge, right? But they let a sex offender walk on his third sex offense.
I got a year for stealing same thing. I got a year for stealing a refrigerator filter. You know, the ones that go in the back of refrigerators from Walmart. A $50 refrigerator filter. I got a fucking year in Maryland for that shit because of my past record. I think after you do your time and you pay your fines, probation, parole's over, that should be a clean slate, not be judged when you get a job. And that's part 2. We'll talk about that and how hard it is, even for everybody that's been in the system. But and with COVID, imagine the mental health now. They got 3 to a cell in every goddamn jail. 3 jails, 3 to a cell, even in Georgetown and all that. They used to be 2. Gander Hill was the only one that had 3 to a cell. Now it's all 3 to cell. They ain't taking no. If this COVID thing is the legit, I'm gonna say COVID too much, but this we'll say this the jab. If that is legit, then these people are vulnerable to this shit, and it's it's just everybody's breathing on each other. You know what I mean?
I got a simple traffic ticket, and the judge was trying to tell me a mandatory. My first one was 6 months in jail. Like they're just trying to. It's just like, look at my record. I don't have any bad record. Why would you?
Did you ever do any time in jail?
Not
or
time.
You just booked?
I've been locked up. I've been booked and released.
Booked and bailed out, and then
like that's where I got booked in a roundhouse, and I was released. But
in a roundhouse.
A long time in jail because I'm sorry, but I was smart. I never got caught.
So the time you did,
I wasn't no like special, saint. Yes, I went to Catholic school, all that good shit, but I did my dirt, but nothing. I mean, the time I got caught, I went to jail. I did my time. Actually, I went to jail because I took charge for another person. Because you're welcome, Tasha. Because
I did 3 of them.
Yeah. And but we were all in there doing it. But I said that was my bag, so I got charged with the stolen items, and it was her bag. But she was due any day. I wasn't going to let my girl. Back in the day, you think you're a girl or whatever, no problem. Yeah. But now I don't even talk to her. So
you made it to the pink room at Gander Hill before. You were in the pink room a few times.
But not no more than 24 hours. My ass is up and out. Okay.
Right, because you're always and like you said you'll be a little late for the job because you're doing this interview. We'll have to do a part 2 video because you didn't want to do audio, you want to do video. You know what I mean? We'll let shit rip out. But you always had a job. You always been responsible feeding your babies and your kids. I've always seen you working. You know what I mean? Even in your full-blown addiction, you always worked. You never been sitting around collecting money off the state and shit like that and just look for handouts. Even when you had your man, you had probably people living off of you while you was working.
You're right.
Grown ass man.
That people live with me, and that was my downfall. Like I said, we were talking about people. I let people come and live in my household with their girlfriend during Christmas time to be around children, so the children could be around them. And they stole from me. How can you do that? That's why I'm done. You can't let nobody. You can't trust anybody anymore. Like the system has wiped it, and it's just not just the system. It's the drugs. It's everything. And if you speak on it, and if you speak your mind, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm far more better than anybody else. I'm not, I just wish the best for everybody. I just really do. It's just, it's like a domino effect.
Oh, I know you got a kind of heart, man. It's just the situations, the people you've been around with, they played you a lot of times, and it changes you to, some females, not calling you that, to be turned into a bitch mode. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this shit no more.
That's the way I look at it.
Huh?
But the thing is, I said, I'm a bitch. I'm just not your bitch. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Exactly.
You know me. We were talking about that. I'm a BWI, bitch who investigates. I mean, coming to you soon. So we'll talk about that later. I ain't gonna hurt the haters.
It's give or take with relationships, man. You both gotta be working. Can't live off another person. And especially if you're strung the fuck out. I mean, that's the worst thing ever, to be in a relationship when you're both using. When you're both using, it's a nightmare.
When the man goes to jail, he wants you to put money on the books. He wants you to put money on the phone, but then you have to pay the rent, but then you have to take care of the kids. You have to do everything else. I mean, and then, but I played that role for a while, and then I got tired of it. Because once that man got out, if the men were so loyal to the women that are loyal to them, then they would, but once the man got out, he had to skitter out and play me. So I got tired of it and I stopped it. But now I wasn't there for you never can be good in a relationship.
I did the same shit in my early 20s, expecting people to do that. But after like the 3rd, 4th, 5th time locked up, people cut you off. They don't put money on the phone or books in there. I went 2 years doing a bid, and my homeboys had to hook me up with hookups at night for extra bulb. They cut you off. They have to, man. It's like, when the fuck are you going to learn your lesson? You know what I mean?
I had to. I had to do that with him, and it hurt me. But like I said, once that motherfucker, if he knocks on my door, you know what I mean? I might not let him come stay anymore, but I'm gonna open it. I have an open door policy. I have a big heart, and that's my problem. Is people walk all over it. But I mean, I learned to love myself, and that's what a lot of people need to do.
That's right.
If you want to get help, you get help, and you learn to love yourself.
And you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yes. You know what I mean? You just gotta have to tired of waking up feeling like shit, chasing it, fucking, your kids. You think all the back of your head all the time. You want what's best for your kids. How long can I keep this up? I can't keep this forever. Because even if you had a lifetime of pills, a lifetime of pills still wouldn't work. You would kill yourself. You would OD. Even if you had a limited amount. I always told myself. That's when I finally came awake and got clean that day. I was like, even if I had a limited of dope or pills or whatever I was doing, that still wouldn't be enough. You know what I mean? I would die. I would shrink up, become real skinny. I would fucking die. Yeah, so you got to quit one time. You have to quit at one point. That when the shit doesn't become fun, when you don't even feel high no more, you just get well, and it's expensive as shit.
But what sucks is that, you know what? Yes, and I'm going to sit here and I'm being 100% with you right now because I'm not going to sit here and be no fake, no fraud or nothing.
Right.
But, I'm prescribed to certain things, and I used to abuse them, and now I really don't. And it's a whole different thing, but
right.
A whole different effect. It's because I need them. It's, because mental health. I mean,
right, but
people still talk shit and look down and say what they want about me, but that's fine. But look where I'm at.
I bet people say the same thing, but it doesn't count unless they say it in your fucking face.
Exactly, and I'm not worried about it. All I'm saying
is say on your face for social media.
You will change, regardless of how many pills you got sitting in front of you, or regardless of if you want to. I'm not taking 6 at a time like I used to.
Right.
Half as needed. I mean, and
I seen y'all. You know what I mean? I used to come over and serve, and and your guys' addiction wasn't even that. To me, I don't even think it was that bad. It was just popping perks and shit. But I was fucking shooting them.
I haven't. That's the latest time I touched a Percocet was back then. That's how long ago it's been. I haven't touched it.
But I didn't get you hooked on it, right? Don't put that jacket on me.
No, I'm saying that's how long it's been since I touched it. But I go to counseling. I use, I don't use Percocets or anything like that, but I do have help. I'm still not completely 100% drug clean. I don't I'm sober. Yes, I am sober. Because I'm not doing heroin and I'm not doing what, you know what I mean? But I still smoke weed. So I can't sit here and say that I'm not, but I'm not an addict anymore. But I just I don't want nobody sitting on here saying, oh, that girl smoked mad weed and she up here talking about she's a recovering addict. I don't want people to think that I'm calling
a lot of people got to understand this. Opiates, whether it's pharmaceutical, heroin, or this fentanyl. I luckily in 2016, November 22nd, 2016, I quit before they cut it with the fentanyl. So I never did fentanyl ever. You know what I mean? So I think I might have tried a little bit when it just started coming out. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. I couldn't stay awake. I was like, it's deadly. I was getting tired. I was being sick and tired. So I quit. But they don't understand. Opiate users, it damages in the brain, the opiate receptors. It actually damages part of the brain damage. It causes brain damage, and it makes us crave. For the rest of our life, we will crave these opiates, whether it's any opiates, whether it's pharmaceuticals and synthetics or heroin. We will always crave it, and that's a fight you got to do every day.
Imagine if you're in pain. The doctors are the ones who actually got me addicted. I was
Yeah,
in a
me
car
too. Me
accident
too.
when I was almost 9 months pregnant with my daughter. A drunk driver hit me in the back doing 72 miles an hour. I
Dang.
had what's called facet lumbar disease in my back. My back is permanently fucked up, and I was
So,
popping Percocets.
so
And
you
that's
might be a person that still could take pain management, but not abuse them,
right.
prescribe,
I don't
and
do
that's
pain
fine.
I go to
That's fine.
methadone instead because methadone is also used for pain. But instead
Right.
of going to a pain management doctor, because I may, because of my addicted mentality, I may pop a few extra pills. I don't want
Right.
that. I go to the clinic, I get my daily dose, and I'm able to move around.
But let me tell you,
I'm
methadone.
but
I was on it. I
y'all
was on
keep
it for.
looking at it, as I just told you. I'm
I was
keeping
on
it
it for.
100 with
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I'm keeping it. Go right back. Keep on it. I was on it for 2.5 years. I didn't want to. I was like, yo, I was banging dope, and I was like banging dope when I came back from Florida when I moved here, and for the first year and a half, I was banging dope, and I was like, methadone clinic 5 minutes down the street, so it was real convenient. I was like, man, I don't want to put that shit in my body. It's worse than coming off a dope withdrawal. But if I had not done that, I would have been dead and buried around 2016, 2018, sometime around there. I would have been and forgotten about, buried in the ground. And
It's whatever works for you.
Suboxone, they're lifesavers. People say the only people that talk bad about methadone is
They're also
Suboxone.
addicted.
The only
People
people that
are
talk bad
also
about yeah, the only people that talk bad about Suboxone and methadone are the people who never did it. Like, or
or
I understand the withdrawal is bad, but it will save your life right now. You need help right now. It'll save your life and the cravings right now is what we're talking about because the next shot could kill you. That's
and
what
when
this
you
is about.
go, you use these. Don't go just for the methadone. Use the
No,
group. Use
no,
the counseling. Use the services that they
right,
provide for you.
like I
It's
did.
not just about taking a medicine to feel better. Because up here, yeah, you are physically feeling the pain, but up here it's also physically going through some things like that I didn't even know I had. I
Yes,
found out I was bipolar one and that, I have really bad anxiety. I talk in
me
circles, I
too.
talk a lot. Like in this live, we've jumped from topic to topic. That's my anxiety.
Yeah,
But
and me
instead,
too.
there's
I had
also
ADHD as a kid,
anxiety.
attention deficit disorder, and I have, and then a lot of users when they get clean or methadone or Suboxone, they got permanent anxiety or it's extreme anxiety. You know what I mean?
Especially when
I
I'm
have I ain't going front. I'm prescribed to anti anxiety medicine right now because and that's it. But I need that, man, to even, you know what I mean? Because when you get clean, I don't know what it is because you're numbed out for so many years. And when you're clean and your head is focused. Now, what I mean clean is people on methadone, I consider clean. People on Suboxone, I consider clean because they're not go out there copping. The running stops. The running and hustling for the drug is stops. And shooting the drug, it stops. So the hustle is over. That's why I consider them clean. You know what I mean? Even though, yeah, it's state funded to get these drugs, but guess what? You can work now. You can work like a normal person. You can function. You can go to the bathroom without being constipated. You can, I mean, it tears up your whole insides of these other shit. So I'm all
some
for
people abuse
anybody
the drug, and that's what's giving it a bad name. Is the people that go and get high off of it and get
and
way too
still
much
get high on methadone.
dose, and then
Yep.
get high, and then that's what's giving the methadone the bad name. But the
Yep.
thing is that if you idolize the system and the things that they have with it, like counselors and shit like that, uh, come on. I haven't touched an opiate in years. My back's killed me, and ibuprofen. People's
See,
offer me Percocets. And
Suboxone and
I
methadone is
don't even
amazing.
bother.
It works
Like
as pain. It
people
works
do
as
dope,
pain.
I've seen dope and it doesn't even bother me. It because I
See,
also mentally I worked on myself mentally also. It's
that's
not
what's
just
up.
about the physical withdrawal.
I'm glad to
And
hear
that's
that.
what I really want to
The,
hit on.
You're working on
We're going
the
to
dope
jail
fiend
these
tactics, the dope fiend tactics in your mind. Because people, just because you stop putting drugs in your body doesn't mean that's the first step, right? The first step is knowing that you're a drug addict. Second step is stop putting drugs in your body. But then the third step may take 3 to 4 years. It took me 2, 3 years to get the dope fiend mentality out of me. You know what I mean? That dope fiend mentality, man. Like, you know what I mean? You go get some change for a pack of cigarettes, like just dope fiend shit that normal people don't do. That's the hardest to get rid of.
And I'm
Right
the one
there,
that
that
gave
dope
the
fiend
pain
mentality.
with a cigarette.
Yeah. Now I
See?
smoke because hey, I figure I quit dope. I'm off the clinic and all that. At least I can do is smoke cigarette. I stopped for like a year and a half, but I'm back at 3 months now smoking Newports again. But
Yeah,
I'm not. I packed last week 3 days.
so I was cuffing mine. They probably thought I would, but yeah, I didn't want it because I don't want to trigger anybody, because some
Right.
people like addiction is cigarettes, beer. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
lot of things, and also, it's a shame because a lot of people have to steal to get high, and then they end up in jail, and then they end up going through withdrawal through jail, and it's like, I mean, they're all well and good, and
Yeah. I did that 5 times. Went in sick, real skinny, came out real diesel. 5 times over. You know what I mean?
How did you go back?
Well, for technicals, me catching charges, because when you get high, you catch charges. You steal shit. I never stole for family.
Went back to the way you were, correct?
Yeah. So I would steal from like not a big like Walmart's, walk out with TVs, or Home Depot, big weed whackers or chainsaws. I would never steal from a family.
The boosters that come through here that we know, and I'm not going to put their names out here, but surprise the people that I used to have crushes on that are like boosting and on crack. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hate on them. You know what I mean? Like I tried to bring someone in. I did help her out. I did sit her. She was living under a bridge at the time. I brought her in, helped her out for a little bit. Yeah, I did charge her rent because she did get money from the state, $100 a week, free room in the house. She went to the methadone clinic. Now she has a job. Now she has everything. But she ended up screwing me on the last time it was time for her to pay me rent. She dipped out.
That's that dope fiend mentality. She still had that dope fiend mentality.
Like a woman, she dipped out. So, I'm done. I can't help anybody else. I have to worry about me and my children and me and myself. And
there's such thing as being too real. Too real, Stephanie, to be too real. There's such thing as being too real. You know what I mean?
No, I'll always be loyal to those who are loyal to me.
I know. Me too, but
to everybody.
But sometimes, you gotta look. Pete gotta look out for Pete. Stephanie gotta look out for Stephanie. In the long run, you know what I mean. You could do so much help as you can to people,
exactly.
And then you just say, "Hey, I did my best in the past. I proved myself to myself and to other people that I'm a good person. I'm real. I keep it real. I never ratted, never snitched, and everything. I help people out, gave them a home to live in, and they burn you, man. It's just you got to move on and let these people out of your life." People
get out of your life, they get a better life, then they want to throw dirt on your name, and it's cool.
That's crazy.
Like, you know what? That's fine. Like my baby dad, they're probably throwing dirt on my name, and I'm not putting them down at all. I'm up here trying to make awareness because y'all were great men, or I wouldn't have had children with you. I'm up here trying to make awareness. I'm not up here trying to look pretty on. I'm being late for work because there's people in jail and my family's been in jail, and I've lived around this, but I didn't have a bad upbringing. I didn't have a bad, it's just the family that I had. It was weird because I had the Catholic family and then I had the criminals. And
I was born Catholic too. I was raised Catholic.
Married a cop. So we had the criminals sitting on this side, on my aunt's side. My dad's side of Smallwood side of fam, sorry, Smallwoods, we ain't that bad. But
I feel what you're saying.
And they had the cops on this side. So it was a weird ass wedding. But like I've been on both sides. Like I understand both sides. And even now it's crazy. It's just, and a lot of things are changing, and they're not changing for the good.
Right.
They're not.
Well, I tell you what, you got a lot off your shoulders today. I don't want you to be late for your job. You know what I mean? Like I said, you always been a grinder and always worked. whether you're addiction or not addiction. And I don't want you, to harm their job or anything like that. So we'll do a part 2 video, and it's good to have you on. It really is. It's good to see you too. I haven't seen you in years, and I'm sure you got a lot more to share about. We'll continue off from this point with the family thing.
From back to back, I wasn't sure what topic to hit.
Yeah. So, well, hey, we freestyle.
Will let us know what topic to hit on next time, and we can hit on that topic, or we can go from there.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That need to be talked about.
No problem. Stephanie, get to work. Get your grind on like you always been.
You too. And
I thank you. Thank you. Truly thank you for coming on Life After Lockdown. All right.
All right. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
All right. I will. And keep everybody, tell them, like, share, hit the subscribe button. Tri-state area. This is going to be a big thing, man. Everybody watches. Most people know us. And we all know them. Delaware is a very small state. So come on the show. If you have drug history, jail history, whatever, that even if you got pulled over from a cop that felt that it was wrong, that they were in the wrong, you know what I mean? Share it. Why would you hide it? Why would you hide it? You got to expose. That's how this country works. You got to expose stuff to get change. You can't hide it inside. This is, so I just welcome anybody. Yeah, exactly.
2 people. We all need to come together.
Exactly.
Everyone needs to come together, and I'm behind you, Pete. So,
all right. I thank you again to come on and get your butt to work. All right.
All right.
This is part 1, Stephanie from Newcastle, Delaware. We'll be seeing her part 2 within a week or so. Peace out. See ya.